rolling.
It's fine, just keep going.
Let's see.
Today we are here with Dave Edwards and we are talking about the topic of the TV show Punisher. Hi Dave.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
I'm alright.
So, first question is, what do you think of the show overall?
The show overall, wow. I spent the other day, the 17th of November, binge watching from the time it was available to, well, now really. And I have to say, I really loved the show. I loved the characters. I've always loved Frank Castle and Daredevil. So, no, it's a great show. It's very brutal, very, very brutal. It's 18 for a reason. Yeah, it's a brilliant show.
Do you think the show, which almost glorifies gun violence, is a negative summary of the amount of gun fatalities in America?
I do and I don't. Obviously, gun fatalities in America is a very serious subject, and the Punisher uses a lot of guns, and in no point of the show is he really Mirandized, you could say, for using such deadly weapons. So, while
Warning, spoilers. Okay, go.
while guns are used, at no point do they say it's okay to use them, and they do directly influence the story in a bad way rather than a good light.
Okay. Out of all the characters in the show, which is your personal favourite?
Wow, it's actually a tie between Billy Russo and Frank Castle. Frank Castle, the main character, or the Punisher, is a brilliant character, well written, and the actor is incredible. But Billy Russo, on the other hand, has a great backstory, he's a great character, and he also has reason for revenge, which makes it better. But no, I would say Frank Castle overall.
Okay. So, do you think the mature themes are too graphic for TV showing despite its 18 rating?
No, I do not. It's 18 for a reason, that's the point. It's on Netflix, it's on Netflix Adult. If you don't want kids to be watching it, then change the filter. It's not for young viewers. It's definitely not for people that get squeamish of blood.
What do you think of John Bernthal? Is that how you say it?
John Bernthal.
Okay. What do you think of John Oh, fuck. What? Bernthal.
Bernthal.
What do you think of John Bernthal as Frank Castle?
Well, I first saw him in an episode of The Walking Dead. I've never watched The Walking Dead, but I have seen him in The Walking Dead, and I fell in love with him from then. When I started watching Daredevil, he really took off in season 2. He was a very ruthless man, very interesting character, and then obviously when the TV show came out, they were able to develop that character into a murderer, but with a sense of mercy to him for the first time, and also a sense of insecurity and emotion.
Okay, so Micro is Frank's eye in the sky, if you will. What do you hang on, I said that right. I said that wrong, I mean. Micro is Frank's eye in the sky, if you will. What do you think of their relationship in the show?
Well, Micro in the show is, it starts off as Frank's stalker, who is trying to convince Frank to help him take down the same people. I can't say much more than that because the TV show has only just aired, so people will still be watching it. No spoilers, obviously. But no, their relationship on screen is, it's like a brotherly friendship. But obviously there is violence and death involved.
Okay. In the show, we saw Billy Russo, which is known in the comics as Jigsaw. What do you think of his performance, and would you improve anything?
On the whole, I wouldn't improve Billy Russo. Billy Russo was brilliant. The guy that plays him, although I can't remember his name, is perfect for the role. The way he talks, the way he acts, the violence, it all sums up Jigsaw perfectly, who is a comic book character who got violently disfigured by Frank Castle. No, in the TV show, He is portrayed as Frank Castle's best friend, and you'd have to watch the show to find out if that stays true to the very end of the show.
Okay, hang on, I've lost count on which one I'm at. There it is. What would you personally rate the show out of 10?
Well, I'm planning to rewatch it because I'm sad like that. But currently I would rate it as a 9. I'm hoping to get it to a 10. I'm going to rewatch it and then see where I come up with that.
Okay. Would you improve anything? If so, what?
I would probably improve certain parts. You're going to have to cut this bit out, Lucas. Do you think you could leave the room for a second? Because I got a spoil the story.
Run, Lucas, run! Save your mind.
I'll go in the...
I'll go! Don't include that.
You're going to have to ask the question again. I forgot what it was. And I wrote
I
that.
can't even remember. Oh, would you improve anything? If so, what?
The only real thing I would improve is the fact that Frank Castle was never caught. I think that was the wrong way to portray it because he is a violent murderer who, yes, did have secrets and evidence against the crimes in the show, but at the same time he is a murderer. He was wanted for 37 murders, but was never caught. And they never really show that. Obviously they wanted to set up season 2, but at least punish him some way. As you know, punish the Punisher, it only makes sense. An eye for an eye, but no, they don't really ever seem to do anything, and he gets off scot-free at the end, so makes no sense personally.
Right, number 10. You just mentioned season 2 though, so I don't know if you want to specify this question, but do you think there will be a season 2? If so, how do you think it will be done justice? Oh, hang on. Whoa, what? Redo. Do you think there will be a season 2? If so, how do you think it should be done justice?
I did mention season 2 in my last answer. The reason I mentioned season 2 was because I am expecting it. As Marvel writers do, they like to make sure a story is finished, and Punisher's story is definitely not finished. There are still people after him, there's still people he needs to kill in order to find out the deaths of his family, so no, there should be a season 2. And how would they set it out? I can't really tell the Marvel writers how to write it, but they should at least show more of Jigsaw, who has now had his face disfigured, which is like in the comics, so they should definitely go into that in more detail.
Do you want me to do the last question, or do you want to keep it? It's a fucking long ass paragraph. As we see in the show. Oh, should I just say it out loud?
You probably should, yeah.
Okay. Wait a second.
Wait, hold on, this could be a spoiler, I can't remember.
No.
Hold on,
As we.
because you won't know anyway.
While you do that, I'm going to clean my glasses because they are fucking white. That's what I'm looking at the light for, because you
Okay,
can see
yeah,
clearly.
that's fine. You've seen Daredevil
Whew.
I've noticed that these cameras do not focus at all. You put it on manual,
They do focus, Lucas, that's the point.
No, you can't. Honestly, it's not working.
I'm not even going to question it. Right, okay, last question. As we see in the show, Frank Castle, or the Punisher, is... hang on, let me read that. I sound just like a fucking idiot. As we see in the show, Frank Castle, or the Punisher, is a somewhat of an anti-hero. Do you think his merciless killing of evil drug dealers and murderers is justified in any way?
Yes and no. Obviously, I would never really promote gun violence. I would never really promote vigilantism. But at the same time, they did mercilessly murder his family, and he wanted to find the answers. Drug dealers, they've already ruined their lives. Murderers, they've already ruined their lives. In my opinion, they don't deserve to live, but who is he to choose that personally for them? I don't think he's really the person to choose that. But if the justice system fails you, then you're going to take matters in your own hands, and a trained Marine is going to definitely do that.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interview, Dave.
Made you mind to change.
Might want to stop the camera.
Huh?
Stop the camera?
Oh! Yeah.